Welcome to Watch Symposium. I'm Austin. The Daytona. A lot of people think we're going to see an upgrade in the Daytona here in 2023. Are we? Well, one of the reasons is I think it's got the older 4-1 movement, 4-1-3-0 movement, if I'm not mistaken, and it needs a 4-2-3-0 movement, apparently. And it's an anniversary of some sort for the Daytona. But does that mean anything? All right, well, I think the movement upgrade probably will happen. If not this year, some year. Will it happen this year? I mean, a lot of people think it should because of the anniversary, but I don't think that means much. Think about the Explorer 2. I mean, it came out in 1971, and in 2021, it was the 50th year anniversary. I think I got those dates right. What do we get? Nothing. Nothing. We thought we were going to get green accents, maybe a two-tone version. We got a two-tone Explorer. Who cares about that, right? That's unrelated to the Explorer 2. So I don't think Rolex really thinks much about anniversaries with their not-so-iconic models. They did with the Submariner, right? But not with the Explorer 2. I guess they thought it just doesn't deserve it. The question is, does the Daytona deserve it? I mean, it's iconic in a way, but it's more of like a hype watch. It's like their most hyped watch. And I wonder how Rolex feels about that, because it's not like the Daytona really earned it like the GMT or the Sub. Those are icons because of what they were. And the Daytona is kind of an icon now because of what it is and what it has become. But there were years there where it really wasn't very popular. Rolex knows that. So I don't think we're going to see an anniversary anything from Rolex when it comes to the Daytona. It's just my feeling on it. I think it's up there, sort of. I mean, it's more iconic than the Explorer 2, but not nearly as iconic as the Sub, right? That's the most iconic of all of the Rolexes by far. And that's why it sort of got special treatment during the 50th anniversary. I don't see the Daytona having that happen, all right? Now, Rolex, and I mentioned this in another video, is in a place where they probably don't need to and probably don't want to upgrade anything, because why would they? They can't keep their watches in stores. Everything is selling out. So why would they mess with their perfect system and business model and situation? They shouldn't, but they kind of have to. They got to give us some new upgrades. And so I'm thinking maybe a technical upgrade with the movement on the Daytona, but visually not much. And I'd say that because what is going to make somebody want the newer one versus the older one? Just only technical upgrades, right? I mean, why would you go for the older one when you can get the newer one? And so I think there's going to be little, if no, visual change. I think, of course, it's going to have the newer movement, so there's going to be the cornet at the 6 to indicate that. It's going to have the 4-2 movement of some sort. But that said, I mean, the bigger the visual change, the more people clamor for the end of an era, this and that. I mean, if there are changes, I think that they're going to be minimal, and they're going to be only better. There are going to be upgrades that are just better. For example, on the white dialed Daytona, instead of having black circular subdials, I think all black subdials. Something like that. Something that you could say, oh, that's the new one. But are they going to do something like get rid of the white dialed version? Absolutely not. I mean, the second they do, the Hulk phenomenon is going to happen, and people are going to clamor for that discontinued white dialed Daytona, and they don't want that. They want you clamoring for the new one. They want all the people that paid exorbitant premiums for their white dial Daytona with a 4-1-3-0 movement to look down at it and say, I kind of want the new movement one. I kind of want to upgrade. That's what they want. They don't want you looking down and saying, wow, look at this, end of an era. You can't get these white dial Daytonas anymore. They don't want that, right? So little if no visual changes, maybe some changes with the subdials, but that's it. So not much of a prediction. Do I think there's going to be any sort of mention of the anniversary? I don't think there will be, just because of what we've seen with the Explorer 2. But I could be wrong. Let me know if you think I am. Take care. Thanks for watching. See you next time. All right, so let's pull back and look at the broader picture, because this is just one example, and you might say, well, this is just an exception, but I've got good data for you, and it comes by way of Danny. Thank you for sending me this. This comes from a Morgan Stanley report, and it's very dense. I haven't read all the way through it, but when it comes to the CPO program, prices are certainly rising. In December of 2022, last year, CPO pieces were going for 13% more than